What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with another mock draft Monday. Wouldn't be a Monday without a mock draft. Drafting from the 6th spot, half-point PPR. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Let's get it. Very interested to see how this draft starts off. So it started off with Christian McCaffrey. Start off JT, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp. Pick is pretty simple for me here. I'll snag Justin Jefferson. I feel like he is very similar to Cooper Kupp in my mind. Dalvin Cook was definitely the next guy up I would consider, but Justin Jefferson's just too good to pass up for me currently. Let's take a look at these cheat sheets. Hide the drafted players. Okay, Aaron Jones is definitely interesting at this point in the draft. I'm actually just going to snag him here. Debo, also another name I'd be tempted to take, but Aaron Jones, I think he's going to catch a good amount of passes. I just think he's a safe draft pick, to be honest with you, and that's mainly what I'm looking for in these first few rounds, especially when I'm able to secure a stud wide receiver in round 1. Ezekiel Elliott gets to me here in round 3. He's too good of a value for me to pass up in round 3 of drafts. I know some people have been. I don't really understand that logic completely. I just think he's going to be locked into a big enough workload where he can return his ADP in around middle of round 3, you know. Yeah, I think he'll definitely get enough volume and just be involved enough where that'll get going for him. Travis Etienne's still on the board. He is tempting. Between him and, you know what, we'll take Etienne here just because I want to see what kind of receivers I can fill out with the rest of this. And I feel like he's one of the last guys. Etienne is a certain tier to me, and he is the last running back available. So I'll take him there, and we'll see what we can do in our wide receiver 2 spot. Jeudy's still on the board. I'll snag him up here. Allen Robinson is another name I considered. I just love the value on these Denver Broncos wide receivers this year. Snagged him there. My wide receiver 2 spot. Darnell Mooney's still on the board, another name I think will probably have a good return on his ADP. I just don't know how high his ceiling is. I couldn't see him finishing as a wide receiver 1 personally, but who knows? Maybe he takes a huge step forward, and so is Justin Fields. But to me, his ceiling is capped. Taking a look who's still out here, you know what? I'm going to aim for upside. I'm going to snag JuJu Smith-Schuster. Sorry, running back heavy. When you do things like that, it gives you an opportunity to take a ton of shots at that wide receiver position. Very interesting guy available here in round 7. Dalton Schultz, tight end, Dallas Cowboys. With the way their offense is currently set up, the target distribution, you got CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, who's starting the season injured. Then you got Dalton Schultz and the running backs. I really, really, really like the way it's kind of unfolded. Okay. I usually do not take tight end and quarterback early. I don't know, this isn't very early, but I really like Russell Wilson this year. I think in the 8th round, he's an auto pick to me here. I'll draft him, lock in that quarterback spot. Now we wait. Okay, Lazard's still on the board. I'm going to take James Cook and hope he gets back to me. I just like the value on James Cook in the 9th round. He's got the draft capital. He didn't. That's fine. Honestly, the part of the reason I passed on Lazard, too, there were a few wide receivers I was interested in. None of the guys I was looking at got back to me, honestly, though. Let's be honest. I really like the starting lineup, honestly, and I don't feel like I've got bad depth starting with 2 quality options at the running back, or the quarterback and the tight end spot. I think the risk that you run into when you start a team with this construction is Dalton Schultz. You know, if he's a middling tight end and so is Russell Wilson, you basically pass on quality running backs and wide receiver depth for guys that you are going to get almost no value from in those positions. So you have to have them outperform their ADP. That's the one thing I think it comes to. So you need I think I took Schultz to a tight end 7, at least tight end 6, and I think he can finish top 5 this year. I think Russell Wilson has that upside to him as well. I will take Skyy Moore here. I already have drafted JuJu. It's a lot to invest in one field, but when you've got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, it doesn't feel like I'm investing too much, honestly. So I'm willing to take him there. Honestly, I feel like this guy's going a little underrated in drafts just because the hype is so high on DeAndre Swift this year, but I think Jamal Williams is a solid value if he's utilized in anywhere similar to that same role he was last year. Just want to point that out for everybody. I'm actually just going to snag Gus Edwards here. Don't know how healthy he'll be to start the season, but that's a high-value backfield, and sounds like J.K. Dobbins might not be ready to go. Sounds like he might not be ready to go, though, so it really is a kind of a crapshoot there. Taking a look at who's still out there. This one is getting interesting. I like the value. Trey Lance is still out there in the 12th round. I think he'd be a great value here if anyone's looking for a quarterback at this point in their drafts. I'll take Jamal Williams, actually. I was just talking about him. And if Swift does go down, I think he's going to be a really solid option. He can catch the ball at the backfield. I think he'd be heavily involved. They've got a really good offensive line there, and I think their team will be improved from last year, even if they're not a dominant unit. Drake's still out there. Zamir White. Man, it is getting tough. Let me take Nico Collins here. Draft him, and then I'll see. Zamir White did go. Probably should have taken Zamir White and then try to get Nico Collins, but hindsight's 20/20. I'll take a shot on Jahan Dotson. He's a first-round draft pick. I don't love Carson Wentz being his quarterback, but there's a situation, I think, where Washington is throwing a lot, especially their defense has not improved from last year. But that will be the big thing to see for them, is just how improved that offense is. I don't usually take Jameson Williams in drafts because I think he's probably going to start the year injured. I think he'll probably miss some games. I do think his upside is crazy high, though. I'll snag him here. Okay, let's take a look at the team. So I got Russell Wilson, Aaron Jones, Ezekiel Elliott, Justin Jefferson, Jeudy, Dalton, Schultz, Travis, Etienne, JuJu Smith-Schuster, James Cook, Skyy Moore, Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, Nico Collins, Jahan Dotson, and Jameson Williams. You definitely see the loss of depth by going quarterback and tight end in those middle rounds, but as long as you're not taking either of them before round 6 and you're stacking a lot of quality wide receivers and running backs, and then you still have some targets late that you like, because I do like I like James Cook, obviously. I like JuJu. I just like that I got 2 solid options there, but definitely not great depth on this team. But, a solid roster that if you can work the waiver wire could definitely compete. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out some of the videos I've already posted. There's other mock drafts on the channel. I talked my league winners, those are out. My running back, wide receiver rankings, those are out. Running back and wide receiver rankings updates coming later this week, so check those out as well. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.